This man's life took a dramatic turn while exploring deep, narrow ravines. Not informing anyone of his plans, thinking the hike would be straightforward, was a mistake he would forever regret. This is the devastating story of Aron Lee Ralston. Before we begin, we want to give a huge shout out to everyone who has supported our channel. Thanks to you, our subscription rate has grown from 7 to 9%, which is incredible. Without further delay, let's dive into today's exciting video. Aron Lee Ralston was born on October 27, 1975, in Marion, Ohio. His early years were filled with typical childhood experiences, but his life took a significant turn when he was 12 years old. In 1987, Aron and his family moved to Denver, Colorado. There, he attended Cherry Creek High School, where he discovered a passion for skiing and backpacking. The majestic Rocky Mountains became his playground, and he spent countless hours exploring their rugged beauty. These early experiences instilled in him a love for adventure and a deep appreciation for nature. After high school, Aron pursued higher education at Carnegie Mellon University in Pennsylvania. There, he earned degrees in mechanical engineering and French. Balancing a demanding academic schedule, Aron also found time to engage in intramural sports and served as a resident assistant. His summers were spent as a rafting guide, navigating the wild rivers and honing his skills as an outdoorsman. In 2002, Aron made a bold decision that would change his life. He quit his job at Intel to pursue mountaineering full-time. He moved to Aspen, Colorado, to be closer to the mountains he loved so much. However, this passion for extreme adventure also came with significant risks. In 2003, while skiing on Resolution Peak in Colorado, Aron was caught in a Grade 5 avalanche with his partners, Mark Beverly and Chadwick Spencer. Fortunately, no one was seriously injured, but the incident forced Aron to reevaluate his approach to risk and safety. Despite the close call, Aron's love for adventure remained undiminished. He continued to push his limits, seeking out new challenges and exploring some of the most remote and beautiful places on Earth. Little did he know that his next adventure in Bluejohn Canyon would test his limits like never before. On April 26, 2003, Aron Ralston set out on what he believed to be another routine adventure in Bluejohn Canyon, located in Utah. Known for its stunning but treacherous landscape, Bluejohn Canyon is a place where few venture alone. Aron, however, was no stranger to solitude in the wilderness and was confident in his abilities. Arriving at Canyonlands National Park a day ahead of his planned excursion, Aron is eager to explore the deep, narrow ravines. These crevices, often 100 feet deep and less than 3 feet wide, beckon to his adventurous spirit. He doesn't inform anyone of his plans, thinking the hike will be straightforward and that he'll return by nightfall. He sleeps in his car, ready for an early start. By 9:15 the next morning, Aron is biking towards Bluejohn Canyon. His supplies are minimal, a few hours worth of food and water, this reflecting his expectation of a quick return. Locking his bike at the canyon's entrance, he continues on foot, eager to conquer the trail. On the afternoon of the same day, as Aron descended into the narrow canyon, he encountered a large boulder wedged between the canyon walls. Using the boulder for support, he began to climb down. Without warning, the boulder shifted, and within seconds, it dislodged completely. The massive rock weighing 800 pounds fell along with Aron to the bottom of the cave crevice, pinning Aron's right wrist against the canyon wall like it was cast in concrete. Panic surges through him as he struggles in vain to free himself. Rescue seems a distant hope, days away at best. His focus narrows to his means of survival, which is his scant provisions, a bottle of water, 2 burritos, and a few candy bars, all these becoming his lifelines. As the afternoon faded into evening, Aron turned to his only tools, a pocket knife and his unyielding determination. He begins chipping at the boulder hour after hour, desperate to break free. After 15 grueling hours, reality sets in that he cannot chip away enough rock to free his arm. The canyon walls were unyielding, and the boulder was too heavy to move. Hours turned into a day, and still, he was trapped. His water supply dwindled, and the 2 burritos he had brought for the trip offered little sustenance. As the days passed, Aron's situation grew more desperate. He rationed his water, sipped it sparingly, and nibbled on the small amount of food he had. He tried to stay calm, using his engineering background to devise potential solutions. He fashioned a makeshift pulley system in an attempt to lift the boulder. But the 800-pound rock was immovable, even against his strongest efforts. By the 4th day, his limited water supply was gone, forcing him to drink his own urine to stave off dehydration. Weak and delirious, he carved his name, date of birth, and presumed date of death into the sandstone wall, a stark testament to his fading hope. During one particularly desperate moment, Aron had a powerful vision. He saw himself in the future, playing with a young child. This vision sparked a new sense of determination within him. Aron realized that he had to survive, not just for himself, but for the future he had seen. On the morning of April 30th, Aron woke to find that his trapped arm had begun to decompose due to lack of circulation. He knew he had to act quickly. The realization hit him that if he could break the bones in his arm, he might be able to cut through the flesh and free himself. It's a last resort, a harrowing choice that might be his only path to survival. After considerable thought, Aron Ralston laid out the tools he would need to sever his own arm. His heart pounded with a mix of fear and determination as he took out one of the knives from his dollar store multi-tool. He tried to break the skin, but as he said in the video he made using his camcorder, he could barely draw any blood. Another night of cold winds, anxiety, fear, and panic passed, leaving him exhausted but resolute. Ralston decided to get serious about cutting his arm. Instead of using a sawing motion, he opted to stab at his flesh, only to discover that the knife was too dull to cut through bone. Amidst this dire state, he had an epiphany. He didn't need to cut through his bones with the dull knife. The boulder was positioned in such a way that he could break the bones in his arm himself and then cut through the rest. Using his body weight and torque, Aron managed to snap the bones in his forearm, a gruesome but necessary step. He then took out his dull multi-tool. The process of cutting through his arm was excruciating. He first made an incision in the skin, then moved on to the muscles and tendons. The entire procedure took over an hour, each moment filled with intense pain and determination. Aron used tubing from his camelback as a tourniquet to control the bleeding. Finally, after severing arteries, nerves, and tendons, he staggered backward, hitting the canyon wall behind him. This was his rebirth, a moment he described with profound emotions. Freed from the boulder, Aron knew his ordeal was far from over as he faced the daunting task of hiking out of the canyon and walking back to his truck, which was 8 miles away. Summoning every ounce of strength he had left, he had to climb out of the narrow canyon, rappel down a 65-foot drop, and hike several miles to safety, all while severely weakened and bleeding. After rappelling down the cliff, Aron started the long hike back to his vehicle. Despite the intense pain and loss of blood, he managed to cover 6 miles before he encountered a family on vacation. They provided him with food and water and quickly alerted authorities. Medics reached Ralston by helicopter 4 hours after the amputation, just in time to save him from dying due to blood loss. After enduring one of the most harrowing experiences known to man, Aron Ralston returned with a renewed lease on life. He now lives as he intended, inspiring others as a motivational speaker and working as an engineer. Aron's story of unimaginable courage and resilience continues to captivate and inspire people around the world.